More than a century after Titanic disappeared beneath the Atlantic, the ocean is still giving up pieces of her story.
Some of the most fascinating discoveries aren't about the ship itself, but about the people who vanished with her.
In 2024, researchers returned to Titanic with technology capable of seeing the wreck in extraordinary detail. More than 2 million images helped create an unprecedented record of the wreck site. Inside Titanic's first-class lounge stood a small bronze statue of Diana of Versailles. The sinking, the statue vanished into the debris field, and for decades, researchers couldn't clearly locate it. Then, in 2024, expedition researchers rediscovered Diana, still lying on the seabed after more than 112 years.
But the same expedition revealed something far more disturbing.
A roughly 15-foot section of the famous bow railing had fallen away. Titanic isn't frozen in time. The wreck is still changing and slowly disappearing. But perhaps the most powerful mysteries aren't found in the steel.
They are hidden inside ordinary objects that once belonged to ordinary people.
Marion Meanwell was 63, an English milliner and dressmaker traveling to America to help her widowed daughter and 2 grandchildren.
She had originally planned to sail on another ship, but a coal strike transferred her passage to Titanic.
That small handbag survived long enough to tell us something about the woman behind a name on a passenger list. Another object is even more mysterious. A black glass heart necklace. Its owner remains unknown.
But black jewelry had a powerful meaning in Edwardian society. It could symbolize mourning. So whose heart did it belong to? And who was that passenger mourning?
And then there were the men almost forgotten behind Titanic's luxury, the engineers and boiler room crews. A recovered stoking indicator reveals how the crew communicated about the coal needed to keep Titanic's steam power alive. Even as the disaster unfolded, workers remained below, helping keep the ship's systems running. Their work helped keep the lights and wireless system operating long enough for distress signals to reach the outside world. Among Titanic's famous passengers was Macy's co-owner Isidore Straus and his wife, Ida. Ida was reportedly offered a place in Lifeboat 8, but chose not to leave her husband. The couple were last remembered sitting together on deck chairs. Ida's body was never recovered. Then there were 2 brothers, whose story became one of Titanic's strangest human mysteries. Michelle and Edmund were traveling with their father, who used the name Hoffman. After the sinking, the boys survived, but their identity was initially unknown. Newspapers began calling them the Titanic orphans, while relatives across Europe desperately searched for answers. Today, more than 5,500 recovered Titanic artifacts are preserved as historical evidence. Some identify their owners. Others raise questions that may never be answered. A dish without a name. A piece of luggage without a destination. Jewelry without an owner. Every object is a question, and every question points back to someone who once had a life. But perhaps Titanic's greatest mystery isn't what happened that night. We know the ship sank. We know why the disaster became catastrophic. What we still don't know is how many personal stories remain hidden in that enormous field of debris.
And that is why modern expeditions matter.
They aren't simply searching for treasure. They're trying to preserve evidence before the ocean takes it away.
Because the wreck is not eternal.
Every year, more steel disappears. More details become harder to read.
Eventually, there may be nothing left to photograph.
But a handbag can still remind us that Marion Meanwell was more than a name. A necklace can remind us that someone once loved, remembered, and mourned.
And a passenger list can remind us that every name belonged to a human being. That may be the greatest mystery Titanic left behind. Not what the ocean took, but how many stories are still waiting to be remembered. Because Titanic didn't carry only millionaires, engineers, immigrants, or families. It carried thousands of individual lives, and more than a century later, the ocean is still telling us their stories.